Hey, what's going on? My name is Alex with Portland Event Films, and today we are going to discuss whether a videography company is right for you or a video marketing agency is right for you. So this could be kind of a lengthy video. Look down below. I'm going to put timestamps for all the different things that we talk about. We're going to talk about voiceovers, makeup, color palette, all kinds of stuff. So look down below. This is going to be kind of a long video, but we'll break it down in the timestamp below. So the first thing that I want to talk about is finding out first what is your demographic and what is your target audience. Now this can be many different things depending on what your video is trying to do and what platforms you plan on putting it on. The person that's on LinkedIn, the business owner, is probably not on TikTok. So you need to figure out what your product is, what's your message, and who your target audience is. And then this is the first step that we like to cover in the pre-production process. One of the first steps in the pre-production process is scouting out a location and coming up with a lighting design. We also need to determine the theme of the video and what kind of energy or mood you guys are trying to portray, because this is going to have a very dramatic effect. You can't have something super emotional, low energy on a bright sunny day. So coming up with the location that we're going to use and the lighting design is going to play a major role in coming up with the theme of your guys' production. Now, if this is going to be an indoor shoot and we have controlled lighting versus if it's going to be outside, are we going to have to deal with the elements, plan on a day that's going to be sunny or rainy? These are all things that we need to come up with. And the more pre-production, I feel the better success you're going to have for the end result. I've got to a lot of people where they're like, no, just show up and shoot it. You know, we can light it however, just deal with the day of. And those have been just a disaster unless we're recording a documentary video, which is sometimes like a wedding or a live seminar. And this is completely different. But when we're coming up with a polished product, the more pre-production, preparation, coming up with the lighting design, the elements, and the mood are gonna help your overall product in the end. So before even starting, I like to get the product either sent to me, pictures, past videos, any imagery that you have of the product that we're trying to shoot. And then also I like to find out your guys' branding, images, colors, what your logo looks like. So that way that we can tie it all in together, because there's nothing worse than having a product that doesn't match your branding. We wouldn't want to take a Pepsi commercial and shoot it on Coca-Cola Red and just mix up the brand. So it's really important when coming up with your design elements of your video that we have the colors of your brand to come up with a color palette that matches the theme that you're trying to do. I mean, you go into a hospital, it has a negative connotation and they use the ugly green color, versus we are outside, summer uses pastels, bright colors. So you got to think about what your logo is and then also what your product is. And you want all these to match together. And this will create a good sense of brand identity in your video. So one of the things that I feel is really overlooked is makeup artists. They are very, very important to make sure that your talent looks the best that they can in front of a camera. You don't want somebody to have a mark or imperfection on their face. And instead of listening to your message, all they're doing is focusing on that little mess up that a little bit of preparation and makeup could have fixed. So for us, it is very important to have makeup artists for your video. Now, whether you're using professional talent or you're using Susan from The Office, I highly recommend having a makeup artist. They're pretty inexpensive for what you get for your return on investment. So now we're going to talk to you about the voice of your product. So you probably don't think about it that much, but commercials use very select artists when it comes to voicing a commercial. Sometimes it's a narration, sometimes it's the actor. So you really got to decide how you want to do the vocals for this particular project. Now, Google ranks videos with voices much more than just a commercial with music. It really doesn't know what to do with that video. It sees the title, it sees the description, but in that video, if you can answer some questions with some dialogue, it's gonna help that video rank a lot better.
Hi, I'm Nastasia Marquez. I'm a full-time professional voice actor, and I would love to do your voiceover. Take a listen to my demo and let's get started.
Now we try to make this convenient for you. We've already screened the voice actors. We've used them on multiple projects. We have some that are male, some that are female, Spanish, different accents, and this really takes the production value up because they know how to speak and they know what sounds good for a commercial versus just using somebody in your office. Now you guys are more than welcome to use either paid actors or somebody in your office, but if you really want to show that production value and not have to do retake after retake, I would highly suggest thinking about somebody doing a voiceover. If you're using somebody in the office, they got to be comfortable talking to the camera or talking off of a teleprompter, and sometimes this can take ever. I mean, I've been on a set before where we had to get 2 sentences from somebody and we had to do like 15 takes. It took like 2 hours. If we would have just had a voiceover artist, could have done in 5 minutes and saved a bunch of money because Susan from the office is not used to talking in front of the camera every day, and it really showed in the production of the video versus having somebody that is a trained professional that does this every day. You really need to include some form of motion graphics, whether that's 3D modeling. These are called call-out titles and tracking. You'll usually see a bumper in the beginning of the video, or you'll see it at the very end, and we can incorporate your branding, your colors, definitely your logo. This here is called a lower third, and you'll see these in a lot of different commercials. So I really feel that motion graphics kind of helps take it to the next level when we can incorporate all these different elements in your video. Now, one of the most important parts is the video marketing. I just did a video about video marketing and how you can get your video ranked on YouTube really fast. We did a video in like 2 days and we got it to the first page of Google. So I think that's the most important part, because when we make a video, all it is a piece of art until we get it online and we market it. So marketing and knowing what keywords to use, what descriptions to put in there, how to tag the video. I feel that this is very underrated, but it is the most important part, because if you have a nice finished product but you don't market it right and you don't put it in the right channels, then it does you no good spending all this money on a video and nobody sees it. If we can't get eyeballs on that video, it does you no good, and it's definitely not a return on your investment. So this is a big step in, after we produce a final product, getting it out to the right people in the right avenue so you guys can see some money back. Now, after we made our final product in the video, it comes down to hosting. We need to know what platforms we're going to put it on. Is it going on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? Because they all have different video sizes. Is it going to go on your website? Do we need to make a smaller version for self-hosted video? Are we going to put it on YouTube? Or are you going to need us to put it on Vimeo? So it really just depends on how much video content we shoot from you and what your overall goal is. So there's a lot of times where people will hire us more for the video marketing part, where we'll come up with the titles, the descriptions, the keywords. We'll host it on our platform. We'll make a video size that's 16:9. We'll also make a 4:5 for Instagram. We'll make a 4K version for YouTube, and then we'll also make a 1080p to put on Facebook. So it really just depends on where you're going to put it, what different platforms you're going to utilize. That way we have a game plan going into the day of shooting, knowing that we need to get a really wide angle of a particular product, because when we take that wide shot in Instagram, you got to make sure we still have enough room and stuff's not being cropped out. So knowing what platforms we're going to put on is going to be a big factor in how we're going to shoot and how we're going to storyboard all the shots. So when it comes to doing our site location, I like to scout my area, see what kind of shots we can get. And this is where I like to come up with a storyboard and a shot list. I also like to scout the location to see if we can get some drone shots, what obstacles we have to deal with on the day of the shoot, if we got big windows that we need to either block out, what natural lighting can we use, what lighting that we need to bring to set up. So this is why I feel it's very important to scout the location, so that way we can start planning our shot list and coming up with a storyboard for your guys' product.